a little long. I need to put it back up like today here. Getting lazy.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Brothers on Air. Isaac, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing fine. Doing dandy.
Yeah.
Would have been doing better if didn't take 8 hours to watch this movie, but it's fine.
Listen. All right. Got home.
Yeah,
Had to figure out how to watch it with some people. It just didn't work.
yeah,
So
uh, yeah. Well,
nice
we have a
sweatshirt,
new
by the way.
series. Thank you. It's mine. I bought it, and it's all mine. I didn't get it from
This
anyone,
is big lies, people.
and that's mine.
Huge
All right.
lies.
What are we doing this week, Thomas? What's this
Wow.
new? What's this new little series that I
No
hear is
small
floating
talk. He
around?
just wants to get right to the sauce. But okay.
Nope. Yeah.
All right. Fine. We can get lost in this sauce.
Let's do it. Get right into the meat and the potatoes. What are we looking at this week?
All right, so we decided that we are going to take a look at a couple different movie series and just movies, I guess, in general, that have been adapted from books. Now, obviously, there's a
Mm,
lot of really big IPs that have been adapted from books, or at least stories that started out as books, such as Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. A lot, like really big ones.
we got two.
I know.
Wow.
So we're gonna be talking. We're not gonna be talking about those because those we can talk about later on. Because
Yeah.
they're a lot larger like stories and projects and stuff. So we're gonna tackle a couple small ones, and the first one we were talking about today is something that you might not think about as a book, and maybe not even think
Mhm.
about the movie in general, because I feel like it was kind of went under the radar a little bit, but it was I really enjoyed this movie.
Or
Uh,
was it forgettable?
no, it was good.
Mm.
The movie we're
Yeah.
talking about, the film in question today,
Mm.
is Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
Yes, sir. So we're talking about that. Uh, just as the news hits that Ready Player Two is in pre-production, which is kind of dope.
Oh, is it?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
So that is the book we're talking about, book
Yes.
slash movie we're talking about this week.
Yeah. Ready Player One, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
My take? Okay movie. You know, not bad, not great, but it's good. Falls right in the middle.
I would really like to watch this movie from, like, I would never be able to, obviously, but I would really love to
Hmm.
watch this movie from the perspective of someone that isn't like a gamer or like plays video
Yeah.
games. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really curious what it'd be like. But I personally really enjoy this movie as a gamer, as a, I don't know,
Hmm.
enjoyer of pop culture, or you know what I'm saying? Like all the little references in
Yeah.
this movie are fantastic for things like that.
Very good.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Isaac, you want to give us a little synapse?
Well, Synapse, of course I can. So, Ready Player One, dystopian future of 2050, right? Something like
20
that.
2045, I think.
2045. Yeah, around there. Main character was born in 2027, he
Mm,
says. So,
yeah,
that's not too far off from where we are. Um,
6 years.
there is this amazing,
Six.
fantastic game called the Oasis, which is basically like a VR game. Put a little headset on, go into the world, and it is no rules, no laws. It's the Wild West. Anything goes.
Yes,
You
sir.
go around, kill people, race, get awesome costume designs, build up coin, get cars, get jets, planes. You can get like Millennium Falcon as a plane. I don't know. Literally anything goes.
The,
It's really cool.
an X-wing was in there. If you noticed that,
I didn't,
there was an
but
X-wing
yeah,
in
that's
there.
cool. But yeah, and so this big guy that created the game is kind of praised as like the overlord god. He's just praised as like a god because he made the game, and literally everyone on Earth basically plays this game. Like when they're not like eating a meal, they're probably in this game because it's kind of just like sucked everybody out from reality into it. And
Yep.
so, um, the main guy who makes the game passes away, and he leaves this little Easter egg in his game. And there's three keys that people need to find, and whoever finds the third key, or all three of the keys, inherits like all the shares that he has of the company that's valued at like trillions of dollars, and sole control over Oasis, the game. And so obviously this sparks a lot of contest between regular folk, but the second most popular or the second richest company right behind the makers of Oasis also is like, hey, I want to get those stocks. I want to be controlling this game and make a whole boatload of money. And they're called IOI. And so this whole thing is kind of like the players trying to stop IOI from getting a hold of their most valued possession, which is, Oasis, and ruining the game for everybody. So yeah, it's a little adventure story. It's a little little bit of a heartthrob here and there. You know, some love interests, some comic relief with their main character, or their not main character, the main character's best friend. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
is
I
that a good
think
synapse?
that was a great synapse. Fantastic
Thank you.
synapse. Almost a full
Thank you.
synopsis, but you know what?
Mhm.
More of a synapse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I let's talk about how what we thought of the movie. Just initial, nothing too deep.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this movie. Upon
Hmm.
a rewatch, I'd seen it before. I saw it in theaters when it first dropped. I really enjoyed it then. It came out. When did it come out? 2018. 2018. Um,
28. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it then. I really enjoy it now. It's definitely one of my favorite movies just to like sit back, watch, and just enjoy and not have to like
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
like just enjoy for enjoyment's sake, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's definitely not a perfect movie. It's definitely quite
Mm.
corny sometimes, and like
Yeah.
there's some issues, but like overall, it's a fun movie to watch. Again, as like someone that really likes gaming and stuff, I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. The whole concept of like an entire society basically just diving headfirst into like a video game, basically. Obviously, with
Yeah.
more, some consequences and like a whole like lifestyle around it and stuff and societal
Yeah.
change. But I really enjoyed that whole thing of just an all immersive, like basically single player life. You know what I mean? Like it's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a super cool concept. Um,
I mean, I think it's really cool. I would love. I mean, I would be all over that if
oh
a
yeah,
game like this came out. I would definitely
it would be
just
incredible.
become one of the people in there. Yeah. It's
I
really
really
cool.
like his.
But
I really like his character. It was so
mhm.
cool. Like just a let's scratch the surface. I'm gonna scratch the surface a little bit of the little Easter eggs in this.
Yeah.
So the name Parzival is from, which is the main character's. I don't know.
In-game name.
Yeah, his gamer tag, for
Yeah.
lack of a better
Yeah.
word.
It is.
I want to get this right, so I'm gonna find the thing. Where is it? Uh, if I find it, I'll just what's it called?
Who knows? You lost
I'll
me.
just verify. I'll just verify what it is. But as
Oh,
far as
okay.
I know, Parzival is a name of one of the knights of the Round Table, and
Oh.
yeah, and so I'm gonna just Control F this.
Hmm.
Um, and so one of the cool things about that is because of that. Here we go. I found it. So Wade Watts, like we said, sorry, a little bit of dead airspace there, but Wade Watts is the main
Yeah, it's fine.
character. And his Oasis character name or his gamer tag is Parzival. After Parzival, the Arthurian, Arthurian, I don't know, the Arthurian
Arthurian.
knight. I don't know. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Arthurian knight,
Yeah, it's
famous for his
Arthurian.
quest for the Holy Grail, and dedicates his life to
Hmm.
finding James Halliday's Easter egg. On the back of Parzival's jacket is a knight's sword. That's so cool, dude. I already liked the
I
jacket. I thought the jacket was dope,
yeah.
but I didn't
I
know
didn't
that
even.
little like connection was kind of cool. That
I mean,
he's
they
named
also
after a
like
knight, and he has like a knight's sword on the back, which is so
didn't
sick.
they? There was like a part of the movie where like she straight up said, because they were like, he was like, oh, I don't clan with people,
Yeah,
and then she like literally said that like whatever his name was, the guy who
yeah,
goes for the
yeah.
shelf. That's dope.
They
I
did
didn't even catch that.
mention
Wow.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's
Honestly, I feel like this movie, like so much stuff flies under the radar because so much stuff is just like thrown
dude.
in your face. Like
If you look at the
there's so much to
IMDb,
see.
if you look at the
Hmm.
IMDb trivia page,
Oh,
it's insane the amount of like the whole movie's an Easter egg. Let's be real. The whole movie's
yeah.
about finding an Easter egg, but like the
Mm,
amount of Easter eggs in this movie is crazy, like
yeah.
absolutely crazy. But back to like
Yeah.
his look, I really like his look. I like his jacket a lot with the sword, even without the Easter egg behind that. I think that's super
Mm,
cool. His belt is like styled after Han Solo's and has the Thundercats logo on it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
the whole his
That's
whole
dope.
look is sick, and all the character like designs in this movie I really enjoyed.
Mm. Yeah, I really enjoyed that as well. Honestly, some a little like with going off the main character, acting wise, I didn't really like his acting when he was outside in like real world. I
Yeah,
thought it was just weird and didn't feel natural for some reason. But then like I mean, basically he's voice acting when they're in the game because it's not like really him,
yeah.
and it just like felt better. Maybe I was just like used to like his voice as the avatar, and then he come out in real world, and he was just like weird. But I honestly just didn't like his acting in the real world. It was weird to me.
See, that's interesting because I
It
actually
felt
really like
like
the casting choice here.
Really?
Apparently, there was some like backlash initially of casting the main character. I'm gonna get it.
Ty Sheridan,
There you go.
I think his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently, there's some backlash when they cast him because he wasn't like a big name or very well known or anything like that. But I really enjoyed him. I think in the real world, I think he acted decently well, in my opinion, because I feel like his character was supposed to be like a socially awkward kid that really found his
Hmm.
voice and his personality online.
Yeah.
So I feel like he portrayed that pretty well
Yeah.
in the IRL like side of the movie.
Yeah.
It was a little awkward. Like some of his
Yeah.
both of their acting was a little awkward. Like during when they like finally like meet each other in real life, that whole like sequence.
Yeah.
It was all a little
Yeah.
weird, but like I
I mean,
said,
that
this
seemed a little.
movie,
Yeah.
like if you really decipher or like not decipher, but if you really break it down, yeah, there's some parts of it that like the acting isn't the greatest and blah blah blah, but like overall, it's still
Yeah.
like a fun movie.
I mean, yeah. I don't really. I'm not expecting like Oscar nominated performances here because like this isn't an Oscar winning movie. This is just like an entertaining movie. Again, it's kind of
Yeah,
like a Marvel movie. But yeah. I mean, Olivia Cook, the girl who plays Artemis, is that her name? Right? Yeah,
yeah,
Artemis. I really liked her. I thought she was a good actress. She was in Sound of Metal, which is like a movie that came out 2019, so 2 years ago, which is like a really good movie. So, and she did like a fantastic job in that. And this one, I didn't think she did like a bad job.
yeah.
Maybe I think she did like a good job. It was an interesting character. Honestly, I think these are like interesting characters to play because they're like kind of playing like they're having to do voice acting and real life stuff because
Yeah.
like they can't be their character.
I bet you they
But
did the whole. I didn't really look into this at all, but I bet you they did the whole like animation suit things where they like.
oh yeah, probably.
I feel like they
I
definitely
mean,
did
a lot
that.
of that looked like yeah. They I feel like they'd have to like
Yeah,
that is one thing. Like the CGI of this movie is honestly fantastic,
it's so
which is
good.
like super important because probably like over half their budget went into CGI because that's like over half the movie.
Yeah,
But like if the CGI was fantastic. There's a scene like I was looking for I was like trying to look for moments of like where CGI kind of like looked like iffy or kind of bad, and I really didn't see any because especially when they're in the game, you kind of are just like okay, they're in like a game and like there aren't a lot of rules to what's happening in the game because like we're not in real world anymore, right?
yeah,
So you kind of like go with it. Like when they're in the orb of like the dancing place and they're just like floating in the air. It's like all right, well physics barely applies here because they're just floating.
yeah,
And then there's a scene like later in the movie when like they're driving in the van and that like girl who works for IOI gets kicked out of the van and she like slams onto the
yeah.
concrete behind her and does like a roll. That looked really good to be honest. I thought that was gonna look messy. I think it looked good.
Really?
It didn't look that bad.
I think everything, not everything, but like a lot of the IRL stuff was like super. I don't know what the word is. Not cheap or like bad. It was just like I don't know.
Like
You could
really good.
tell like I don't know. I feel like I don't even know how to. I feel like that's the only parts of the movie you could really like complain about.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like all of like
I
the
guess.
stuff in the Oasis and everything. Like you said, all the CGI was great. All the acting was really good. The comic
Yeah.
relief in this movie was excellent. It was so good.
Yeah. It
But
was
like
good.
I think some of the like the IRL like scenes and stuff were just kind of shaky. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but overall, I think we both really enjoyed the movie. I thought we really
Hmm.
thought it was well made. Obviously,
Hmm.
Steven Spielberg has made some excellent movies in the past,
Hmm.
and has headed up some massive IPs of different um, series and franchise and such. And
Hmm.
allegedly, according to some interview that he did, this is the third most difficult movie he's made, behind Jaws and Saving Private Ryan.
Really.
Yeah.
Honestly, that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I could see that happening.
I
I don't know
thought,
what it would be like to make a movie that's basically like all CGI like that. Like,
yeah, and with like a lot of
it,
different other cultural references from 80s and
yeah,
90s and a little
that's
bit from the
true.
early 2000s. Um,
And like right now, like I saw Tracer in there, which is like a game that came out 4 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
One really cool thing that is like the first thing in the trivia page on IMDb. that I thought
Mm.
was kind of interesting. So I'm just gonna read it real quick. Spielberg worked with the Industrial Light and Magic (ILM) to oversee the film's visual effects, meeting with ILM for 3 hours, 3 times a week. 3 hours, 3 times a week in the production of this film. A significant part of the film takes place in a virtual space called the Overlook Hotel. In the film, The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
This was a mostly digital recreation of the film using high quality telecine of the original film, giving them some freedom of new camera angles and shots that could be generated from this recreation. So basically,
That's cool.
they took the old movie and they remade it digitally. The final film includes a combination of original footage from The Shining and ILM's additional work. Only a few scenes in this sequence involved real actors, such as the appearance of the Grady twins, so the two girls, I'm assuming,
Yeah,
require them to reconstruct a faithful reproduction of the Shining set for the actors to interact with. Finally, the sequence was post processed to introduce film grain and other aging effects to make the new footage indistinguishable from the original film. ILM also had to faithfully produce digital recreations of several of the cultural references throughout the film, including the DeLorean time machine, the Iron Giant, Chucky, King Kong, that was modeled after the 1933 version of the character, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park. All of which ILM had to recreate using the same base model that they created during the original production of said films. I thought that was super cool. They had so many like references to older movies and other things that both Steven Spielberg worked on, and other things, whether it's I said, King Kong was pretty big in like the first race scene. The T-Rex from Jurassic Park. The DeLorean was a huge thing. When the first time I saw the movie, when they threw down the little car and it expanded into DeLorean, I thought that was super cool. Especially when it opens the doors and just puts a little bit of smoke out like the back. Yeah. Oh, so sick. Yeah. So cool.
Honestly, this movie is just like, there's so many like references. I wonder if they had to like pay for any of them, or they have to get like rights for any of them, because they're just like blatantly like, oh, here's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, here's Tracer from Overwatch, here's Master Chief and like Halo's like guys, like there's just, and like here's when towards the end, when there's like this kind of like big mech fight between these like two monsters, and Dido, I think his name is, becomes like
something from
Gundam
an anime
or something, which is like an anime character. And I'm like,
from 1979. I looked it up.
There's like so many of these. Maybe some of them, like the old ones, have become like public domains, but I highly doubt that. I'm just like, I wonder if they had to pay for any of these. Or I mean, like, I guess if it's movie to movie, some of them might not care, but like,
yeah, maybe some of them are made by Warner Brothers in the first place, because I'm pretty sure that's who produced this movie or made the movie. But yeah, I mean, just in the first race alone, obviously Bigfoot, the what's it called, the monster truck, one of the most iconic monster trucks, Bigfoot, was right in the front. The DeLorean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like super. If you look up Bigfoot, there's been like 15 renditions of Bigfoot. It was super popular. There's a DeLorean, the motorcycle from Akira, I think, right? There was a Batmobile, the A-Team van.
There was.
The Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit. Apparently there was the RV from Space. Oh yeah, there was the RV from Spaceballs. Like, so much. Do you know the Batmobile? Yeah. Do you know that Batmobile is now owned by Jeff Dunham? The actual movie car is owned by Jeff Dunham. I heard that. He's like a massive Batman fan, like the old Batman films. Oh my god,
he's a super villain. Have you heard him laugh? He laughs like a super villain. It's creepy.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude's weird.
Yeah. What's his name? Jim Carrey does a bit about he does a bit about how since he became rich or like got money, his laugh at parties has changed. And somebody like took that bit from like some late night show and then like showed it, and then showed Jim, or what's his name? Jeff. Oh, what's his name?
Dunham?
No, the Amazon guy.
Oh,
Jeff Bezos. My goodness. They showed him like laughing like right after it, and it's like the exact same laugh, and it's like, it's so funny.
Really?
It's like, it's just like loud. It's like it's like weird. Yeah, and it's just like, really uncomfortable. But yeah. Also, back to actors. T.J. Miller's in this, which is just one of the funniest. He's always typecast as a comedic relief,
Yeah.
but he's just one of the like. He's such a funny guy. He's
How's
so
it
funny. His
going?
voice
Well, I have this
makes me laugh.
pain in my neck. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
You might have to go to a chiropractor.
Yeah, he's like, he comes back. He's like, oh, I think I need PT. Honestly, this isn't going away. It's like so funny. I love T.J. Miller is really good in this. Mark Rylance, who's like Holiday, who's the guy who made Oasis, is actually an Oscar winner for best actor in a supporting role in Bridge of Spies with Tom Cruise that came out in 2015. It's a really good movie. It's just about like the Cold War kind of era of like spies and stuff. It's a really good movie. And so like he's like an excellent actor and was also really good in this. Like he played his character very well.
Both
like,
him and
like
Simon
nerdy.
Peck did really well. Apparently they modeled that relationship between the two of them after Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's kind of funny.
Right?
Yeah. That completely goes hand in hand. That's good. But yeah, I mean the rest of them are kind of like new actors, like that we didn't mention, or just like meh actors. I mean, Lena,
the girl that played H, was
Lena
I thought
Whitey?
Sure, I don't remember her name.
Yeah.
I've always liked her in everything she's played in. I feel like she's kind of typecast, but I've really enjoyed her. Like in this movie, she was really good. I really liked her in Master of None. I thought she was an awesome character in that show. Don't you remember? Have you seen that movie? Have you seen that show?
I would want to say no. I've seen her in something. I can't remember what it is, but
it's the Aziz Ansari show on Netflix. If you haven't seen this, you have to watch this show. It's so good.
I watched the first couple of episodes.
That show, like the first season's I really enjoyed the first season. Second season was incredible. It was so good.
Yeah, I remember when I first started watching it, I was like, I'm too young for this because it came out in like 2017, 2018,
maybe. I
don't know. I was just like, I mean, it's for like 20-year-olds, like 30-year-olds, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening, so I should rewatch it now.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super good. But I really liked her in this role. I thought she did very well. I liked her character a lot. But
it's funny. Yeah, that's good.
Indeed. I some other cool little things. Like I said, this IMDb page is so like full of stuff that I thought was just I always like visiting these pages of different movies that I'm watching just because I think it's interesting. But for example, some of the stuff just of like behind the scenes things, not even of the movie itself, I guess. The music score was originally going to be composed by longtime Steven Spielberg collaborator John Williams. Isaac, what else did John Williams compose?
I don't know, Star Wars.
Yes. Did you know he also did?
And I don't know.
Pretty sure he did Harry Potter as well.
Did he?
Pretty sure.
That's kind of cool. Harry Potter's really good.
You want me to look?
Who did do the music in this one? Let's check.
I can tell you.
Tell me.
However, due to scheduling conflicts, John Williams was working on another Spielberg film, The Post. Did you ever watch that movie? I never saw it. It's about the Washington Post. It's with Tom Hanks. I never saw it.
Oh.
Apparently it was decent, but I just didn't see it. That came out in 2017, and instead, Alan Silvestri. Alan Silvestri was the one to do it, and this was only the third film in which Steven Spielberg did not collaborate with John Williams.
Third film?
Yeah.
That's
only the third. And I mean, think about how many movies Steven Spielberg's made. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what that.
John Williams is kind of getting up there too. I'm kind of sad about it, honestly.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's like 90 or 92.
I just looked up Alan Silvestri or whatever.
Yeah.
And he did music or he's known for. I don't know if he did soundtrack. I'm assuming he does like soundtrack for Avengers.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
feel like I had heard the name before.
Yeah, he did it for Endgame.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then he also did Polar Express and Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Which, like, I don't really remember the music on those, but Endgame
I remember the music being pretty good on Polar Express, actually.
Yeah, like the hot chocolate scene.
Yeah, that was actually a good scene. Not gonna lie.
That scene's so funny.
God, that movie's so
But
the
yeah,
lifeless eyes. Oh my gosh, it was like that movie's not a bad movie. And of the when did it come? It came out like years ago.
no idea. Also, you know how many characters Tom Hanks plays in that? He plays like 4
2004.
or 5.
Yeah, 2004
That's
it came
great.
out. That animation, like even like say it came out 10 years ago, you'd still be like, that's still pretty good animation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Yeah.
That was getting off topic, but
Yeah.
also, but it doesn't really matter. John Williams is 88.
Mm,
That's kind of
dang.
sad because the last odds are the last sequel trilogy of freaking Star Wars is probably the last music he's gonna write for Star Wars, and that was trash trilogy. So
I mean, like, have they made like new music though?
yeah,
Like they've like new music. It's kind of
yeah.
just been like the
I mean,
same
it's the same
motifs
like
and stuff the
well,
whole time.
yeah, but I mean, he made it, so I mean, yeah,
Yeah. Obviously, also it's like they're gonna use the same type of music in
yeah.
the same movie.
I mean, how could you
So
not?
yeah.
But other cool things from this movie. In the race sequence, when King Kong appears, the original theme from the 1933 film, composed by Max Steiner, is played. Which I thought that was kind of interesting.
Mm.
Um, the where is it? I just saw this. The Zemeckis cube, the Rubik's cube, has it.
Yeah.
Show me your cubes, bro. Show me your cubes.
I don't. I don't have any, Thomas.
The Zemeckis cube is named after director Robert Zemeckis. When the cube is activated, music playing is from Back to the Future trilogy, directed by Zemeckis.
Oh. Oh dang.
Alan
didn't know that.
Silvestri also composed the music. Also composed the score for both Back to the Future trilogy and this film, which is again
That's
like
dope.
there's the littlest things that just
Yeah.
blow my mind
It's
in
like
this
tiny
movie.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Um.
you
Sorry, go for it.
to kind of stray away from trivia? We can come back to that.
I just
Give
love
these
it.
people
It's
a break.
so good.
It is cool. Do you have any gripes besides what did we talk about? I think we said like the when it's outside of the Oasis, things are a little weak.
The
Do you have
live
any
action
other gripes
stuff.
of the movie? Because I kind of have like 2.
I thought the whole like what was I gonna say? I didn't love. Again, it was all outside the Oasis. I didn't love when they met up in person, and it was just like it felt like kind of a forced love scene,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
development of like a relationship scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, basically in the center of the movie, pretty much right before they get
Yeah.
the second key. That whole thing kind of
Mhm.
I don't know. It's like, why are we here?
That whole love like thing just felt super rushed to me. I just like
Yeah,
literally in like 2 days, like this is what is this, Romeo and Juliet?
yeah.
Literally he like kind of meets, like he knows who this chick is because she's like a Twitch streamer. Which also I love that in 2050 Twitch is still around. Love that little thing.
Honestly, that's bold,
But like
but hey, that means
yeah,
Amazon's still around somehow. So
that's true. Probably they probably became IOI to be honest.
that's facts.
And yeah. But like he's like, oh, like I know her in this, and then he like meets her in real life, and then like the next day they go dancing to find the second key, and he's like, I love you. I'm like, what the heck?
Dude, what a
Like
simp,
that was
dude.
so quick.
Big simp.
It was so quick, dude. And then like all of a sudden her like goons grab him, and he like finds her in real life, and then she's just like,
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't know. There's like bits of the movie that kind of just seem like fast.
Yeah,
That just seem like super rushed, but I'm just like, all right, whatever.
yeah,
I mean, like
I agree.
it doesn't ruin the movie entirely. It just kind
No,
of seems like,
so,
all right,
yeah,
we're here now, I guess.
some of the pacing is a little weird. The whole
Yeah.
setup, I feel like, takes forever to get to the first key, and then it's like from the first key to the second key, it's like this much time, and then during the 2nd key,
Mhm.
it's like this, and then the third
Yeah.
key is like the whole. That's like half the movie. What I just described, and
Yeah.
the third key is like the
Yeah.
whole next half, and it's
Back end,
what
yeah.
2 hour and 15-minute movie or something like that. So it's not like super short.
It's 2 hour and 20 minute. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's a long movie.
So
But yeah,
some of
that
the
is
pacing
kind
was
of
a little whack. I do agree.
yeah. One thing that always gets me. This literally makes me so mad in every movie. I understand in every show. I understand why they have it sometimes. But you know when like in TV shows, let's say there's like a detective show. There's 2 detectives, and they're like, oh, this killer just killed again. That's been killing for like that killed for like 15 years and took like a 2-year break, and all of a sudden he's back. They like pull out his file, they open it, and both of the detectives know who this guy is. Both of them have been working on this case forever. But he decides to explain who the killer is, explain why they're chasing him, explain what he's done. And I'm like, dude, they know this. Why are you acting like they don't know this? And it's just like a bunch of like exposition for no reason, or like just like obviously it's for the benefit of the audience, but it's
Yeah.
like it is so
I
lazy.
have no
And
idea where you're going with this.
there's two instances of the movie. What happened? The first one is what's his name? Wade walks into like the library of what's his name? Holiday's like life, right? They
Sure.
kind of made like a mind of his, and he goes in, and he walks up to the butler guy, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, nice to see you back." And then he asks to see a scene, and he's like, "Oh, you've only seen it for the thousandth time." And then they turn around and walk in, and the butler proceeds to tell him what the place is and how these clips are done. And I'm like, this dude has been here like at least 100 times. Why are you telling him that like, oh, these are recreations of his life? Like he knows that. I get it's for the benefit of the audience,
Yeah.
but it just it's to me it's always so stupid and it makes me so mad.
Didn't they also? I'm trying to remember. Didn't they also like mention what the place? Didn't he say what it was too when he was walking up to the place?
Yeah. It was like it was
Kind of.
like
He like mentioned it, but yeah. I'm trying to
because he
think
was
of
being
like how
nice.
else they would explain what it is.
I mean, he was walking up and like he in the movie he kind of got like documentary y where like he's talking in the background of telling you what it is, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like the hall of whatever. Um since like Holiday said to look into my mind, everybody like made this place to look at his life and like analyze that.
Yeah.
And like it used to be jam packed with people, but since it's been 5 years and nobody found anything, there's no one here anymore. And then it's like, okay, so like this is Holiday's life. This is where people go to find information about Holiday and look past it.
I
And then they
think,
walk
by the
in
way, I'm pretty sure it's
and
Halliday. I just want to throw
oh,
that out there
Halliday.
because I know
Sorry.
someone's listening to this and screaming at their
Yeah,
monitor.
Yeah, Halliday. Yeah.
But
All right,
regardless,
Halliday. Sorry.
I understand what
Yeah.
you're saying though. I I
That.
I both understand, but don't necessarily know how they would have. Because I
How
feel
to.
like there has to be an explanation. Because when they did pan up to like the library, whatever you want, I'm just gonna call it the library.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
gave like this much of an explanation instead of like this much that was more needed in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
just
don't
like
necessarily know how you would.
I let it slide because I'm like, oh, it's like a robot, and the robot maybe just says that every single time he walks in because he just says that. There's another scene I completely forget what it is, but I think Wade. I know Wade was talking to like the 11-year-old kid who was like
Sure, yeah,
show. I think yeah, and he was like explaining something to him that like he definitely knows because it was like about the game and Show is one of like the top players of the game.
yeah,
But I'm like, okay, he's like 11 years old. He has to remind him or like something. And I'm
yeah.
like, okay, so I'll give that to you as well.
There was a little bit
But
of that.
it was like two instances. It just always gets to me. I'm always like, don't like. It just seems so lazy when they just are like, all right, you know what? Let's just write out what's happening and have the actor say what's happening instead of having the audience look at it and interpret, like understand what's happening just by watching. But
I,
also, I mean, like
I think
this
in
movie
this
is just like a
case, I feel like in this case, it's kind of a hard thing to balance because the movie's so complex. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Whereas,
yeah, I
whereas
guess.
in the example you gave of two detectives, that is one of the things I hate
Yeah.
the most about crime shows. I hate it so much that the just gross
Mhm.
like explaining of like
Yep.
crap that just irritates me.
Yeah.
Whereas, like I'd much rather have it like do you remember Monk? How something would happen and then only later he would just explain everything and like put all the
Yeah.
pieces together.
Yeah.
I would so much rather have that or like in Psych when he
Mhm.
does kind of the same thing but a little smaller.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
so much rather they do that than in like other crime shows where they literally do exactly what you said. It's like, no, well, this,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I just hate that.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. It's annoying.
but I definitely, I understand that point, but I also feel like in this, they had to spell it out a little bit more, maybe for someone that wasn't like tracking. But
Yeah, I get it. Also, like the movie isn't like it knows what it is. It's knows its audience is also young people
yeah,
and like younger people, like even like 11 and 12, like 10 type thing
yeah,
to like whatever. And the movie isn't trying to be like some amazingly like winning Oscars type thing, as I said before. So it's like whatever. There's like two scenes of lazy writing that I really caught, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it to you, like
yeah. I,
because like one of them was done by a robot, and
I,
it's like okay, whatever.
yeah. I think that's a really good point you just touched on is that this movie knows exactly what it is. Like
Yeah.
who the people that made it knew exactly what they were making, and they didn't try to
Hmm.
be anything other than what it was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which I
And I
really
think
liked.
you can always overanalyze a movie and kind of just like go too much into it, and then, but yeah, at some point you got to realize like what the intent of the movie was,
I think
and this is just purely to entertain.
yeah, exactly. I think there's definitely movies and shows that you can really decipher. I keep saying decipher. I don't know if that's the right word that I'm trying to say, but that you can really decipher, really break down, and like really
Mm-hmm.
just pick apart. But
Yeah,
then there's other movies that are just that's not the point of the movie. Like you can
yeah,
if for trivia's sake, but you
yeah.
shouldn't necessarily do it like to pick it
I mean,
apart for not for like
yeah,
for trivia is one thing that's like for fun to like maybe
yeah,
enjoy
picking
it on a
yeah.
different like level, but I feel like for this it's something that it's just made to have just to be fun. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, picking apart a movie to find like little Easter eggs or little like I mean, this whole movie is an Easter egg,
Yeah.
basically, literally. So like picking apart a movie to like see certain things to be like, oh, they did this and I didn't notice it in the first one, or like this they did this like tiny thing that you would only notice if like you knew or something or like looked into it. But this is like cool, as opposed to like picking apart a movie of like, oh, the writing isn't good here, like analyzing it on like a level of like I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but it's like or like sorry, picking it apart as in like critiquing it and looking at it as like how they teach to make a movie or like
Yeah.
what a film is type thing, like a fantastic Oscar winning film is.
Mm-hmm.
Like some movies you just don't do that to because like they know what they are.
Yeah.
Like you can't SpongeBob movie. You don't do that to the SpongeBob movie.
Dude,
Like
don't hassle a Hoff, all right? He's in that movie. You better watch out.
yeah, oh yeah, I forget about that. But yeah, this movie again, like yeah, as we said, it knows what it is and it fits very well on what it's doing. Like
Why'd you remind me of that movie? We went through the kelp forest. We found the Hasselhoff.
that movie's so good. We should do one on that one.
That's not a
But yeah.
mustache. That's a piece of salad. I thought it was there after lunch. Fill her up, please. With what? Ketchup or mustard?
It's a great movie.
What a dumb movie, dude. That
And that movie's made by the same people who made Rango, so all I'm saying, both great films.
all I'm saying is that was a trash movie. That's
Both of
why
them
it's so
are great
bad.
films.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah,
Yes, sir. I enjoyed this movie though. I thought it was really fun
I did like it.
overall.
It's a good watch. Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend. Can't say that I've read the book. You didn't read the book either. See,
No, I don't.
obviously we're experts and we know exactly what you're talking about. So when we're talking about book to movies adaptations, we know all the backstory.
Yeah. Nice.
Not really. This movie, neither of us
No.
read. Did we say what we're gonna do next?
No, but let's keep it as a surprise because
Okay.
there's so many. There's
Or-
The Giver. That's a book to movie adaptation.
Oh yeah, it is. No,
Yeah.
but the two other series we're going to talk about, this can be like a 3-part series. Isaac has read one of them, and I've read the others.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've read. Yeah. Well, the one we're doing next, right? I've read 1.5 of those books.
counts. I haven't read any of them. I've only seen the movie.
Thank you very much.
But allegedly, this
But yeah.
movie does move slightly away from the book in some ways, such as Wade is the one that gets captured in the book, whereas in the movie, it's Samantha that gets captured. Other little things, different stuff like the first key. I think in the book he had to play through Dungeons and Dragons to find it. And was that the first key or the second key? Just little things like that. But I think they adapted it to the movie pretty well. From what other things I've read is some of the book, it was a little hard to kind of grasp what it was either describing or kind of like the scene it was trying to paint, just because it was a book. Whereas in this, obviously it was a movie, so they could spell it out a little bit easier visually, obviously, which was kind of nice. But yeah, I will give this movie probably like a mid-80s score. Like a 85.
Interesting.
Probably. I think it's just like a fun, good movie. Like
Yeah.
an 85, 84.
I'll give it like a 7.75, 7.5. I'm going on a 10 scale, I guess, right now.
So resistant to just doing 100. I don't understand you,
No.
child.
I mean, what I would give it is a 3, on the best rating scale any man can use and woman can use. But no,
I'm
this guy
not
doesn't know how to do
using.
math.
I'm not using a 5-point scale.
The scale is literally so good.
It does
But
not
I'll give-
allow for enough nuance.
Oh my gosh, there could be a point where there's too much nuance, Thomas.
No, I'll use a 10.
Yeah,
I'll use a 10,
I'm
and
fine.
then
I'm
just
fine.
do like a.
I-
I'll do an 8. No, 8.5 sounds kind of high now.
Yeah, right. See, there can be too much nuance, Thomas. All right, I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7. I think that's good.
All right,
It's just
fine.
like
If
a
I'm
movie
doing out of a
that-
10, I'd say like an 8, 8.3, 8.2.
All right, I'll give it a 7 to 7.5.
No, you know what?
I'll probably.
You know what,
I'll give it
Isaac?
7.5.
I'll meet you a little
Oh my
closer. Okay?
All right.
I'll meet you a little closer. 7.9.
Do it.
7.9.
What's the difference?
7.9,
All right,
Isaac. I'll give you.
7.9. Oh my gosh. All right. Well,
Dude,
I'll
you
just
know
say
what this is
7.5.
right here?
No.
It's my Xbox 360, dude. It's
Wait,
under
really?
It's under a sweatshirt, but that's my Xbox 360.
What the heck? You still have the Xbox? Oh yeah, Amelia took that, didn't she? That's crazy.
Did she take it or I take it? I don't remember. But yeah.
Pretty sure she took it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Is it still red ringed?
It was no, it's fine,
No.
dude.
It wasn't.
All our Black Ops 2
Oh,
stuff
no, we
is
got a
on
new
there,
one.
bro. What are you talking
Never mind. Oh my gosh. What a good game.
Heck yeah, best game.
Yeah.
Should we talk about
All
video
right,
games sometime? I feel like we should at some point.
Talk about a video game?
Not like today, but I'm just saying in general.
Oh. Hold on. Let's take a quick break. I gotta get a charger for my computer. It's gonna die.
People,
Sorry, I definitely forgot.
people,
to
if
do
you
that.
watch this movie, let us know down below in the comments what you thought of it.
Yes.
Put it out of 100 scale because that's what we do here,
Sadly.
or just put it out of 10. I'm just curious. Yeah, let us know down in the comments what you thought of this movie. Obviously,
Do
we
it.
both enjoyed it, and also, if you're not a gamer, please let us know because I'm very curious to know what y'all think. If you do want to watch the movie, you can obviously rent it from any of the online rental things, whether it's Amazon, Apple, any of those things. But if you have HBO subscription, it is on HBO Max. So you can
Or if you have a
definitely check it out
Hulu
there.
Live subscription.
Yeah, the premium
subscription
Hulu.
is there.
Is it Hulu
Yeah.
Live? Is that what it's called?
I
Or
thought so.
Hulu
Or
Premium? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
don't
more expensive one.
Yeah.
So if you have that, it's also on there. So those two. Otherwise, obviously, you can rent on demand on
Mhm.
Amazon, Apple, any of the rental.
Tell us
things.
what you think. Yeah. Also, let us know what's your favorite, either your favorite or a movie that you like that was adapted from a book that we didn't mention. So we talked about Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Sid the Giver. You know, there's a lot of other ones out there. including
Narnia.
This one. So Narnia.
Chronicles of
I forgot
Narnia.
about that one.
Yeah, right.
Narnia is a good one.
They're not
Yeah.
bad. I haven't seen them in
So
a
let
long
us-
time.
Yeah. Let us know down below. Oh, yeah. What's it called? The Gambit. Queen's Gambit is a book series originally.
Yeah. I guess you could
It
count
was.
that, right?
Yeah, it's a limited series. It's basically a movie that's just really long.
Dude, that series was so good.
It was very good.
It was fantastic. We already talked about it,
Yeah.
though, didn't we? Yeah, we talked about it in the first episode.
Yeah. Yeah. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Well, I think we basically wrapped up.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this movie.
No.
Is there anything else you want
This
to
is
talk about,
solid.
Isaac, in general? We're
Not at
going for 43 minutes here. We're a little 43, 42 minutes. So
It's a good one.
little
Give him a
shorter
short
than
one.
normal.
Yeah. Give him a little short one, you know?
A little shorty.
Yeah. A little shorty.
That's fine because
Yeah.
the next couple there's a couple movies.
Probably long. Yeah, we have to talk about a couple movies.
Yeah.
And books at the same time. Because I guess we can talk about the book slightly, but that's not the main topic.
No, I don't
But,
really. I mean,
yeah.
I haven't read the next. Are we doing that series? Your series next?
Your
Should
series.
we say what it is?
No. We're keeping it a surprise.
My series?
No, well, either of the series.
Okay. Well, what was I even gonna say? I don't even remember. Something about the book.
I don't know.
Yo, books don't matter. We're talking about the movies. I don't know about
Yeah.
the books that you've read. That series. I haven't read those, but
Mm.
the books I read were not bad. I would
Okay.
recommend them. But yeah, we don't really. We're focusing on the stories
Yeah.
told in visual ways.
Yeah. If this is a book review podcast, you'd be reading it.
That was gross.
That's such a good joke. We
That's
should end on
awful.
that joke.
I hate you.
All right. We should end on that joke.
All right, Isaac. Close us out, Isaac.
All right. I'm Isaac. That one or this one. I don't know where he's going to put himself. Either there or there, or
This
here or
side.
here.
Point
This
this
has been
way.
Thomas Geronimo.
Me.
Thank you for listening to this podcast on Ready Player One. This has been Brothers on Air.
Yes, ma'am. Make sure to
What?
follow us on all our socials down below.
Oh,
Subscribe if you haven't already. Click,
Thomas.
gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. He's an amateur, straight up amateur.
Give me this one chance.
I gave honestly. You know what?
All right.
Might have to get Liliana on here. Honestly, we don't have to change
Tom,
this
that-
name.
No.
No, she doesn't. Even
Yeah,
like
you want to talk about
She-
talk about Gilmore Girls?
She doesn't
every
even like this
episode?
movies, bro. It's okay.
Gosh. Yeah.
Anyway, we are Brothers in There. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you
Yeah.
have subscribed. If not, subscribe. Tell us what you think about this movie in the comments. Leave a like down below. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Remember when they used to do it like this instead of like this? Peace.
Peace.
All right, here we go. And rolling sound. Quiet. Here we go. Ready. Speeding. 120, take 7. Ready. And starting right on the lens. Ready. And action.